Hi Simi, thank you for joining us. So before we dive into the topic, we would love to hear about your background.
Thank you, Ankita. Thank you for having me. Let me introduce myself. I'm Simi Anusha. I did my graduation and post graduation from Lerivan College, Delhi University. My initial days of career started with a multi speciality hospital, wherein my primary focus was to look after critically ill patients, cancer patients, patient having plenty of medical disorders, including trauma patients, and children with medical disorders. Also, apart from that, I have worked with a wellness firm wherein my focus was to keep a check or prepare a diet plan and counsel the clients with lifestyle diseases, basically diabetes, thyroid, PCOD, and all of that. And now I feel great to be a part of Silver Oak Health.
Okay. According to you, why should someone consult a dietitian?
Okay, so before answering this question, let me ask you a question from my side. Have you ever heard about any hormonal problem or diseases like PCOD, thyroid, diabetes from your grandparents?
I would say no.
So, if not, then why now? That is a major question we should be asking from ourselves first. So the reason behind we are getting all these lifestyle diseases nowadays is because of our lifestyle again. A lot of factors are other factors are also responsible, which can be like environmental factors too, but we have to keep it in mind that majorly because of our lifestyle, eating practices, stress, depression, life, physical activity, all these are in combination to all of these are giving us problem, which in return give a rise to the need of a nutritionist. Therefore, the role of an expert comes here. We basically deal with how to deal with all these lifestyle disorders, because what happens is if we are having any kind of such diseases, we are automatically advised to take pills or medications. So those pills are just subsiding the effect, they are not curing us from the root, and that can be done only through lifestyle modification. So there comes the role of dietitians, where we'll be teaching or we'll be counseling the clients how to follow certain kind of diet plan with lifestyle modifications.
Okay, so if someone wants to consult you for diet and nutrition counseling, how would they go about doing it?
Okay, so if anyone wants to consult us in Silver Oak Health, the primary point of contact will be the help desk, wherein we'll be asking about the few basic details of the employees or the clients who want to consult a nutritionist. Post that, an appointment will be scheduled, and the nutritionist who would be free at that time will consult the concerned person or the client. After that, we'll be checking about the entire diet history, medical history, and all the parameters of the particular person. And then we'll be focusing on what kind of diet would be suitable for that person, how to manage if he or she is having any lifestyle disorder, how we'll be moving about it.
Okay, so two important things like motivation and follow-ups. Many people find it difficult to follow a diet plan. So how do you guide someone to follow it?
See, talking about motivation, Ankita, it is something which comes from within. Nobody can motivate you for following any kind of diet plan, or be it any kind of diet for that matter. Nobody can motivate you. It's just something which can come from within. So until and unless you have some kind of discipline in your life, or I'm not saying to wake up at 6 o'clock and have your breakfast at 9 o'clock, nothing like that, but at least if you are coming to a nutritionist, you have to be responsible for your body. So you have to give some time for yourself, then only you will be motivated enough. And obviously a nutritionist would be there for follow-up calls and everything, so that you are in a proper check of what you're eating. If is there something wrong with your body, if something is not suiting you, we can anytime modify the diet plan. So coming to again motivation, it is always from within, which will come from various aspects. For example, if I say the current situation of COVID, before COVID came into our life, we were all chill, we were doing party, we were going to office, we were doing vacations and all. So once the COVID came in our life and we saw our near and dear ones getting affected, people are dying, emotional outbreaks over there, then we realized the importance of health. So any person who had COVID or not, simply jumped upon how to have a good health or healthy diet, focused on immunity. So it's not about a motivation that came from COVID, but again, people realized from within that, okay, I need to work upon my health. That is a major wealth we have right now. Okay.
So a lot of people start with good intent, but later, they feel tempted to go back to their older eating habits. So what would you recommend in such cases?
See, personally, I always say to all my clients or people who come in contact to me that follow a diet only when it is a fun diet. If it is a very scripted or very rigid kind of diet plan, you will not able to follow it for a long time. It would be a short-term diet plan. So always go for any diet plan which is according to your intake pattern. And for instance, like sometimes people sees their near and dear ones or colleagues that okay, he or she has started doing particular diet plan and it has worked for him. It might work for me also. So no, it won't. It can, but for a short term, for a month or 2 months. But again, you have to understand each and every individual is different. It might happen that what one diet would suit you, it won't suit me. So we have to understand that we have to know enough body type, BMI and other medical parameters. Secondly, people have forgotten about their staple food. We are completely into Western culture. We have moved upon fancy foods. So rather than going towards that, I'm not saying it is bad, but again, your body is not trained for such fancy and Western culture diet. So listen to your body, eat the normal staple food which you used to eat when you were kids, and then obviously little bit of exercise and sleep is equally important. So this is the way, if you are following such kind of schedule and discipline in your life, you will for sure continue with it, and that is a lifestyle modification, not just a particular diet plan which would help you.
Okay, thank you so much. Also, a lot of dietitians are focusing on detox right now. So what is it, and how is it related to health?
So let me tell you one very important thing. There are a lot of people who might be saying, why detox? Our body is designed in such a way that it can detox itself. So there are 5 major organs in our body which are responsible for detoxification. They are liver, lungs, kidney, bowel and skin. So when all these are working properly, we are having a very stable life, healthy life, good life. But if they are jammed or overburdened, so we get issues like gut related problem, constipation, diarrhea, skin related issues like acne, pimples and all. So the body is giving you a signal that I'm not doing my job properly because I have been overburdened. Thus the concept of detoxification came. Talking about detoxification, there was a concept to give a liquid or fruit based diet. Now it is not that. You have to just detoxify or flush out the toxins from the body, and that can be done by normal food itself. But you have to keep it in mind that there are few food products which are toxic in nature, which we have to restrict for a particular time duration, since we are obviously focusing on detoxification. That's
So here I would like to add on one more small question, because a lot of detox drinks are available, expensive detox drinks. So what would you suggest? The normal food can work as detox?
See, like I said, why to go for a fancy or a very complex, lavish kind of drinks or food if the same kind of work can be done from our basic, staple, locally available food? So there are plenty of drinks like detox drink can be fennel, cumin, coriander seeds. Haldi is a very good antioxidant. Amla is very good antioxidant. So these all are the normal, our kitchen based food products which are already there in our kitchen. We just need to know how to use it. So they help a lot in detoxification process, but again if taken in proper quantity and under proper supervision.
We are all aware about current environment, a lot of stress, emotional breakout due to COVID-19, and also people are taking a lot of alcohol these days. So what is your comment on it, and how it is related to health? So if you can just tell us. Correct.
So we can never say any particular food product or drink is bad. No food is bad, no alcohol is bad if you are taking in proper quantity. I have encountered a lot of people in their age group of 80s or 70s. They take alcohol every day, like 1 or 2 pegs every day, and they're completely fine, healthy, with no lifestyle disorders. And again, on the other hand, I've encountered a lot of people in their 20s and 30s. They take alcohol and they get a lot of problems like depression, stress, anxiety, diabetes, gut related issues. So it was never the problem with alcohol. People need to understand that what is going inside your body is not the problem, it is the problem with you personally, on your personal level. If you are drinking in a happy mode or in a positive mode, nothing will harm you. Why to binge drink? People are drinking bingely, like every weekend they are drinking a lot. Why to drink a lot if you can drink every day or every weekends? So if you are drinking in a proper quantity and in a right manner, like when you are mentally stable, alcohol will not give you any harm. But again, if you are in depression or anxiety or in any kind of emotional outbreak is there and you are just binge drinking, obviously you will get the side effect. Alcohol is just helping you just to cope the mechanism. It will not help you to cure your problem. Once the effect is over, you will come out with the same problem. So it was never the problem with alcohol. It was always the problem with what kind of mindset or how you are taking that particular food. So here I want to add not just the alcohol part, but it is with other food products also. People nowadays, especially in India, we have a very bad relationship with food. We think, okay, sugar, we think fat, okay, they are giving me body weight, I should not eat it. No, it was never the food which is bad, it's always you. People say don't eat potatoes, don't eat rice, it will give you body weight. No, you have gained weight and then you are saying don't eat particular food groups. So it was never the food responsible for any such condition. It was always the person who is taking it. If you are taking junk also, or if you are taking any particular food group, even a dessert or a sweet, if you have a respectful attitude or a gratitude towards your food, or if you are taking pleasure from food. See, pleasure is something which is a human emotion. Our body is designed in such a way, we seek pleasure and avoid pain. So if you are in such a mode that we are grateful towards whatever we are eating, be it unhealthy food or junk food, it will not harm you if you are having it in a good state of mind. And secondly, the quantity. It's not just you're having happy mode or you're very happy and just eating, grabbing food. It will not affect you. It can affect you, but again, the quantity is also equally important.
These days, a lot of people and celebrity are talking about intermittent fasting. So, what is your view on it? Intermittent fasting was always in the name. It's just that we forgot how to use it. It was always in all the cultures, irrespective to what religion you are following. So, there is nothing like it will harm you. But again, like I said, listen to your body. People generally do a kind of intermittent fasting, 16 hours of fast and 8 hours of eating pattern, or 15 hours of fast and 8 hours of eating pattern. Don't listen to that. Listen to your body. We are anyways doing 12 hours of fast if we are eating dinner at 8 o'clock and taking your breakfast at after 8 o'clock in the morning. So our body already went into a intermittent fasting mode. It's just that we are not aware. Also, like I said, if something is suiting to some person, or if he or she is doing intermittent fasting of 18 hours or eating for 6 hours or 8 hours, it's his or her body which is adapting to it, or it's going properly with that particular fast. It might not suit you. So don't fast just because somebody else is doing. If your body is responding to certain kind of food or certain kind of diet pattern which is available, which we are talking these days, it is good. But if not, don't force yourself to do any particular kind of fast. Silverlock Health's main focus is on addressing stress-related challenges, right? So, what is the connection between diet and stress? Talking about stress, stress is, like I said, is linked with our eating pattern. When we get stressed, our entire lower body is affected, be it our gut, intestine, or genitals. If you see practically also, when we are into some kind of stress or anxiety level, we get our stomach is upset,
we get loose motions, and when when the situation arises more, people tend to get very big issues. Like if you are not dealing with your stress immediately or on a very small level, it can become great with other big problems like IBS, inflammatory bowel syndrome, or the problem of piles and other things related to our lower body part. So therefore, it is directly linked with our eating pattern. Also, I would like to here put some light on stress eating and how we are eating mindlessly when we are in stress. So a lot of people can be seen are binge eating. Like when we are into some kind of depression or anxiety, we just eat and grab food. So it is just the connection between the mind and body that even if we are not hungry, we are just overfeeding ourselves because we are into the state where we are not currently present at that particular place. We are not into present. We are just mindlessly eating. So there's a proper connection between stress and mind.
Alright, Simi, it was great speaking to you. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome, Ankita. It was lovely being